Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Heir's Lair. I'm your host, Jonathan Taylor. We're doing another interview, but this time I've reworked a little bit the visual aspect of it, so you don't just see me, you also see my esteemed guest, who I will now ask to introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Valerie Storm. I'm an author on Twitter. Um, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Uh, before I get into the actual meat of this video, I have to ask: is there anything you do not want to talk about?
No, I'm pretty open. I don't think there's anything I'm hiding or unwilling to discuss.
Okay, then it's your funeral. Okay. Uh, Now we're having this interview because you're due to have a novel coming out pretty soon, and this video will come
Mhm.
out I think around the time the novel debuts. So I have to know: is this the first novel you've written?
It's not the first I've written. It's the first that will be published, yes.
Okay. So did you publish anything else? Maybe something shorter, like novellas or plays or short stories, something like that.
No, never published anything.
Hmm. What made you decide to publish this novel instead of the first one you wrote?
It is the beginning of the story I want to tell.
Okay.
Even if it wasn't the first one I finished, it's the start of everything that matters. So
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Uh, how? But you say this is not the first one you said this is not the first one you finished. So what made you finish that other one uh, and then decide, no, wait, this is actually the one that this is actually the one that should go first.
I bounce between stories. They're all kind of in the same universe, but um, sometimes certain characters will grab my attention much harder than my main character does. So I finish those stories first, and then I go back and I say, "Oh wait, this one's probably going to have to come first." So
Hmm. I see. Um, so what inspires you to what inspired you to create your novel?
a lot of anime and video games. I was like, I watched Inuyasha and Kingdom Hearts, played Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy, and I said I wanted to make something like this that I could control.
Okay.
So I just went wild with it.
You know what I think of when I hear about your inspirations?
Hmm.
A little bit of melodrama and a little bit of childishness.
That's exactly right. Yes.
Okay. Now you said there are certain characters that you gravitated towards that captivated you a little bit more while you were working on these two novels we've mentioned. What is your process towards creating characters or towards world building?
It's kind of what I need to happen or what needs to be done. Usually a story will happen with a character. They'll be built over time. I'll have a general sense of who they are and what they like and what kind of person they are. And things happen as they go. I don't plan a whole lot from the get-go.
Hmm. So you're definitely more of a pantser than a plotter.
I'd say so, yes. On the spectrum, yes.
Okay. Next question. And I think this is something you've had to encounter a lot. If your description of your creative process is correct, do you have any deleted scenes within your novel, or do you have anything that you would have wanted to include but then figured out, no, actually the story is better if I leave this out?
Yeah, I didn't keep a whole bunch of things like that, but yeah, there's been a lot of things where I've been like, okay, well, I can't keep it like this. I have to rewrite this. I have like 7 versions of this book since its creation.
Okay. And you said you didn't keep all of these 7 versions, but do you still keep at least some of the earlier drafts or some portions of those earlier drafts?
Yes, yes, they're there hiding in folders where I can't see them.
Do you plan on releasing them later as kind of bonus content, or do you want to keep them for like literature historians 200 years in the future?
I would absolutely love to someday down the line, if people cared, to release them to the world. I love that stuff. I think that's really cool.
Okay. The next question, something of a something of a counterpoint to this previous one. Is there anything you initially opposed including in the book before changing your mind or realizing that whatever you initially wanted out of it would have actually could improve the quality of the book?
Yes, there's been, as I've had editors, there's been a couple people that suggested that I put another point of view from a big character into it. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep it to the main character primarily. But every now and then I think, like, I wonder, you know,
Okay. Uh, Favorite? Okay, this one is not in my typical question list. Something I just kind of remembered. What is your favorite tense and POV?
oh, I always go to third person past,
Okay,
always.
good to know. Uh, Next thing, is there any aspect of writing that you dread or rejoice when considering it? So let's start with something you absolutely do not like, but probably consider necessary uh, or in some other way think it consider it could be helpful for your scene. Do you have anything like that? Do you have anything like that? Do you have anything that you recognize you have to write, but you don't want to write?
Filler scenes, like happy scenes. I hate I hate writing characters having a good time. Like between the plot happening and whatever, I have to fill that with something, and it's so hard.
Hmm. Okay, I see. So that being said, what is something you rejoice when you find out it is now time to and let's say you have an element X that you absolutely love, and you find out that now that element X is about to show up in your story. You are you become quite happy, almost giddish. What is that element X to you?
Villain appearances, writing their dialogue is just like so sweet. I love that.
Okay, good to know. I noticed that I noticed that your book is gonna come out with Shadowspark Publishing, which coincidentally makes you the second author I've interviewed who will have a book published with them. I won't say who the first one is, but I think we're mutually acquainted to her. Uh,
Okay.
that being said, was that always the plan to go with a traditional publisher, or did you also consider indie or self publishing at some point?
My original goal was to be pure traditional, like the big houses,
Okay.
but over time the system wore me down, and I was like, okay, maybe self-publishing. And then I saw Shadowspark, and I was like, oh, they're great. I love their name. I love the people that run it. So maybe if they take me, this can be my path.
Hmm. You know, I might consider that. I probably stopped a little too early. But yeah, that's a separate question right now. Thanks for the suggestion. Uh, now you said that you've thought about both and maybe even gone a little bit uh, in that direction with both. Have you had any of your own preconceptions that have been proven true or false while you were on your publishing journey?
Yes, when I started thinking about publishing, I saw a lot of self-published authors like at a book fair, and I immediately, so bad, I immediately had this vision of, wow, they're bad, like they're not good because they're not traditional, and that was kicked back in my face hard because, oh my god, that bias is so terrible, and I'm glad I learned that. But yes, so bad.
Okay. Now, the book is not out yet, but I assume you've launched ARCs or uh, advanced reader copies into the world. How has the reception been? How has their reception been? Or if not them, then maybe the receptions from your beta readers.
Good. Um, sad. People get hurt by my story, but I think at the end they're satisfied. There's more to come, so you know, the pain isn't too bad, I think.
And you say there is more to come. Uh, what does that? What would that mean? What should your readers expect of you?
This book is part of an 8-book series, and I have 3 or 4 prequels planned. So it's big. There's a lot going on.
Damn, so many of you are ambitious as hell.
I know. I know.
Like I've interviewed 3 people so far, and all of them said they plan to go with 5 plus books from
Yeah.
now on, even though they only have like one out already, or are about to have one out.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, Next question: how many people you would consider close uh, know about your writing endeavors? So, friends and families. Have you told them that you're a writer? And if you have, what was their reaction?
I think everybody that I talk to close knows, but not all of them care. So some of them only know like the surface level.
Okay.
My brother is the one that knows everything from the top, bottom, everything.
Is he your writing partner or something like that?
Yes, yes. I share everything with him.
Hmm. Okay. Make sure to give him an extra special thank you in the acknowledgements page.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Has working towards the release given you some perspective on what you would want to do differently uh, with your following books?
Kinda. Um, I'm not super great at marketing and all of that. I don't think many people are. That'd be something I'd want to work on though. Make it a little easier on myself.
Okay. Of all the questions I have asked of you so far, is there any you would want to throw back my way? Is there any you would want me to answer?
I'm curious what your writing style is. Are you a plotter or a pantser?
I would say I'm definitely more of a plotter. Though I do allow a lot more room for improvisation than you might think. For example, uh, well, when I think about a book, I think about uh, one sentence, and then one sentence becomes one paragraph, becomes multiple paragraphs. Then each paragraph becomes a point in the story. Like you have the you have the rising action, climax, ending, uh, everything else, and then I split those up into chapters. However, the chapters themselves only have like uh, 3 ideas at most of what's supposed to be going on uh, inside of them, and if it is from those ideas that I go quite a bit more expansive. So we're talking about from 3 sentences to anywhere between 3 and 6,000 words. So it's not. So yeah, there's a lot of room for improvisation there.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Okay. Um, we are just about finished, but before I end, I'll link up all of your stuff anyway. But is there anyone in particular you would like to shout out as of right now?
My brother, he's always been there, and I love him. He's always been supportive.
Okay.
But also the Twitter writing community as a whole is just so great. I don't talk to everybody, obviously, or even a ton of people, but just the whole feeling of um, family and inclusion
Oh,
that's in there is beautiful.
okay, that's nice. Well, all I can say is, Jen, thank you for your time, and I and I thank everyone who's watched so far for their attention, and I hope they and I hope they enjoyed our talk. Um, I'll also all of Jen's links will be in the description down below in case you're curious. And if you've enjoyed this video, then please leave it a like and maybe even share it wherever you think other people will like it as well. If you have anything you'd like to add to what it is we've said, the comment section awaits your input. And if you want to see when my next video comes out, then please subscribe. Ideally, also ring the bell or do whatever else YouTube will ask of you in order to keep you notified. My own debut, Heir to the Empire: The Next Generation, is available under a master link at most major book retailers in the description down below. Thank you, Jen. It's right past my own social media, so maybe also check those out if you're interested. Until next time, I am Jonathan Taylor, and this has been the Heir's Lair.